Let's discuss one of the QB battles here. It was yesterday. Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shough, both playing for the Saints. Spencer Rattler got the start. He's in his second year, fifth-round pick last year. The second most famous fifth-round pick to be discussed on this show.
In the last 5 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. And then Tyler Shough, he made his debut, second-rounder for the New Orleans Saints. They're going to actually be battling for the starting job here, which is why we're discussing this. What were your initial thoughts on Rattler and Shough yesterday?
Well, also in that game, the shine that Trey Lance had from the Hall of Fame game kind of wiped out reasonly quickly. Now, he made some plays on the ground, but, the passing production disappeared.
Twitter hype was still there, though, even if the stat line wasn't.
I mean, look, I didn't think either quarterback looked particularly good. Spencer Rattler. I mean, my first takeaway initially is what we've said for a while, which is that situation around whoever's going to start is not good. The offensive line looked pretty rough. Now, they were without some weapons, so that didn't help. But, Spencer Rattler looked like he was under duress quite a lot in that game. Tyler Shough came in. Clearly, the game plan for him was just like immediate, insta releases as and when you can. Get the ball out of your hands fast. And actually, he did a reasonable job of that for a while. Pick six was ugly. The double move touchdown was nice. That was kind of it.
I thought Shough was fine overall. I thought he was better than Spencer Rattler. I think Rattler still taking negative plays. He took a lot of sacks last year. Shough wasn't great, I don't think, from a pocket management perspective either. I thought Shough was good in the quick game.
Yeah.
Quick game over and over again.
Which clearly seemed to be a plan.
Which was mostly accurate, and Rattler's quick game was a little all over the place. So I didn't love that.
I mean, I don't think Rattler is a quick game style of quarterback generally.
No, he's not. So Shough was a little bit better, but he was also, I just think timing was, I think he was slow. Just everything was a tick late for Shough overall. The pick six clearly was. It was a stare down. It was a little extra hitch, and you're not reading the leverage of the cornerback who's sitting outside, sitting on the outbreaker. The cornerback, by the way, Eric Rogers, undrafted free agent out of Rutgers, who had a monster game. And between him and the safety, the undrafted safety that had the monster Hall of Fame game, you've got the Chargers.
They keep finding these
the Chargers scouting
staff.
People. Yeah, the last couple of years, especially in the secondary, fifth round or later, they are finding players.
Yeah, they're either on an incredible run of luck or they've captured something in the secondary.
Something to keep an eye on with the Chargers, but they are getting some production from low round and undrafted players in the corners and safeties over the last couple of years. I thought Shough was okay overall. You made the point to me off air. Every quarterback had a bad throw that coulda, woulda, should have been picked, and Shough's did, and was a pick six. It was probably the worst throw out of all the rookies. But Cam Ward, we'll talk about in a minute, and Shough should have had a pick, and Jackson Dart had one that was sketchy, but none of those were actually caught. So I think in the totality of the analysis, Shough's looks worse. Worse, and it was, but it got caught. But overall, I thought it was fine. At Louisville, I described him as he runs the offense pretty well. I think that's why our friend Greg Cosell liked him so much. But there were some bad decisions in there, and we saw elements of that. Hey guys, real quick, only 40% of our viewers are actually subscribed, so let's change that. Hit that subscribe button, and now let's get back to the action.
Yeah, it was worse because it was a pick six, but it was no worse in terms of not getting it anywhere near his receiver and putting it right to a defensive back than Cam Ward's was. It's just the worst that was going to happen with Cam Ward's if it was caught is it was going to be an interception. It was very unlikely to get returned for six because of the way it was, caught. But yeah, it's interesting that each one of those guys had a pass that could easily have been picked off, and the only one that actually was Tyler Shough. So immediately the narrative is going to be different because look, there's an interception against his number.
When he was playing on time, I thought he threw the ball accurately, or at least hitting the right receiver. Pocket presence is the thing I'm keeping an eye on with Shough. He kind of ran into a couple sacks, and then of course what he does in those muddy pockets where I think he's got some volatility to his game.
The big thing though is that offensive line for the Saints. Is it going to be able to hold up whoever is playing quarterback for them and give them any kind of chance to work with?
Talise Fuanga moving to the right side, he got beaten pretty badly by Caleb Murphy for a strip sack, and then Kelvin Banks, though, the first-round pick, on the left side held up extremely well. He looked good. I believe in Fuanga. I think he'll be okay. The interior had some questions besides that other block by Fuanga. Anything else on the Saints and their battle? I mean, so the reports are that it is a legitimate battle between Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shough, and that they're trying to get both players with the ones. I would assume this flips. A lot of teams will do that, right? Shough gets the start next time with the ones. But for now, I think Shough played better with the backups against more backups. But I think he looked a little bit better. And I think ultimately, obviously, they want their second round quarterback to get the starting job.
I mean, I think between last year and what we've seen in one preseason game, there's no real sign that Spencer Rattler is going to be the guy for them, or even be the guy enough to beat out Tyler Shough. So yeah, like unless Tyler Shough goes on an insane run of turnover-worthy plays, I think you pitch the starting job to him. However, the other thing is, like, it's terrible. I mean, if you're the Saints, you're going to be calling Philadelphia asking how much would it cost to get Tanner McKee based off what we've seen from him. Like, there've got to be better options than this.
I don't know if Shough's that bad, but they're not calling Tanner McKee to replace their second-round pick.
They should be.
It's a second-round pick.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but maybe you shouldn't have been. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of our video.
Check the Mic is live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so be sure to hit this subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.
The all-knowing algorithm is convinced that you'll like these videos as well, and frankly, who are we to argue?